Yo, what's up, everybody? Saturday, 90 degrees here. So I wanted to clarify something because somebody posted a comment on the video I did yesterday about, it's the desire of the non-government globally to hold dollars. I mean, there's 36 trillion. That is the total dollar balances in the world. And somebody said, well, it's the petrodollar. Now, this is, to me, it makes me laugh because it's another one of these things where somebody heard something, somebody said something, and then they just picked it up and used it, as their own explanation. It sounds like it makes sense. Just because you maybe do a transaction in a particular currency, let's say, for example, you use dollars to buy oil, that doesn't mean you necessarily also save in that currency. I mean, if you think about it, we work to earn money. Some people don't save money in dollars. They might save it in gold. They might save it in antiques or art. They might save it in real estate. So there's a distinction, and it's a very important distinction between what we use to transact and what our desire is to net save. Now, like I said, there's 36 trillion in total dollar balances being held by the world, the non-government of the world. 36 trillion. That's a decision to net save. By the way, quite a lot, but we hear about it all the time, the 36 trillion debt. I mean, just because we use dollars or countries use dollars to buy oil, a lot of economies all around the world, including China, including Japan, including Europe, I mean, a big percentage of their economic growth, of their economic activity, is based on selling to the United States. And while some of that might be to acquire dollars to purchase oil, and by the way, that relationship is not as strong as it used to be, like China, Iran, I'm sure that's settled in yuan because there's all kinds of sanctions on Iran. So, and the same thing with like Russia and China, oil sales from Russia to China, that's not settled in dollars either. All right, they have bilateral currency agreements. So this idea like, oh yeah, the dollar's only around because it's the petro. I mean, that's an old fashioned, that's not true. The world saves in dollars. And that's a decision. That's a desire. They don't have to. Just because they pay for oil in dollars, I mean, they could switch that out. We see some of that happening right now where, some of those savings are going into gold. So, I mean, the desire to save is different than what we use to transact. You got to understand that. I mean, if you're one of these people who just like, you heard something, so now I'm going to just repeat it because it sounds right and it sounds smart and it sounds intelligent. So I'm just going to come on here and repeat it because that's going to make me seem smart and intelligent. Well, you're not. You're just not. I hate to say it. I mean, the world could desire to save in yen. They could desire to save in Chinese yuan. They could desire to save entirely in gold. They don't. The transaction aspect is totally separate from savings desires. Why do you think people hold 36 trillion in treasuries? For oil? No. They put their money in treasuries because it's their desire to net save in dollars. If that wasn't the case, they'd be buying Japanese bonds. Everything would be denominated in Japanese bonds or be in Chinese instruments. I mean, so if you hear something, investigate a little bit. Don't just, blindly parrot out something you heard and you think, yeah, I'm really smart. I'm going to say this because I heard somebody else say it. I heard some big shot on CNBC or Fox Business say it. So it must be true. Some big shot policy person who wears a fancy suit. So it must be true. So I'm going to say it because that makes me look smart. And this Norman, he doesn't know what he's talking about. It's the petrodollar. And that's all what it's about. The petrodollar. And I'm smart. You're not. You're not. Anyway, man, I was thinking of heading to the beach, but it's a little late. So I'm going to work on my chainsaw and try to get it started. I picked up a chainsaw from Facebook Marketplace for $20. And I had to do some repairs on it. I replaced the carburetor. And I'm going to try to get this damn thing started. So I'll let you know if it works. Bye.